welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, y'all, welcome back. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to let you know I will be announcing the winner of the heat tool at the end of this video, so be sure you watch the entire video. All right, now I have got these two tags that I got from the Dollar Tree. I've also got a towel that came from the Dollar General, and then I have Waverly's chalk paint in the color crimson, and I also have chalkboard paint that I get from the Dollar General store. Now, I tried my best to pull the stuff off of these. I could not get it off, so I just sanded it, but we're going to be using the back of them anyway, so no big deal. It's all good. All right, now I just painted this entire thing with the crimson paint, just one of the tags. Solid painted it. Now what we're doing is making this the red and black buffalo check. Oh yes, we are. Oh my goodness, it turns out so good too. Okay, so I just took my tape, taped it off. I'm going to take another piece of tape and use that as my guide, just so I can make sure that I am I'm spacing my lines out really well, making sure they're even. So I've got my lines. Now these are actually, I've got the tag turned to the side, but these are actually the vertical lines, the ones that go up and down. Just, I mean, you kind of need to keep up with that just because of the way that the very last step. Anyways, I took my red paint, added some of the chalkboard paint. I ended up adding too much, so I add some more red. Moral of the story, I finally got it to this really deep red color that I wanted, and it was perfect. So I went over that with the deep red color that I had. So now we're gonna make the vertical lines. It's so good when it, oh my goodness, it looks so good. Okay, so took my tape off after that had dried. Then we are going to go in with our horizontal lines. So I just took another piece of tape, used it as my guide once again, and went all the way down this this tag. Now, once I got to the end of this, I'm going to paint that same color again. But once you've gotten that dry, you leave it. Don't pick up your tape. Leave the tape on there. Then you are going to go in with your tape and tape the spaces, the lines that are like lighter colored. You can kind of see it. The angle of the camera, you can actually kind of see it. Now, I did use a piece of tape just to kind of help me make sure I still kept my line straight, but even just from this angle, I can see it right there, like right where I put the tape, obviously. But you can see it. Now, once I got that taped on, I'm going to paint the black. And I started out painting just the squares, but I ended up just painting the whole thing, just going over the whole darn thing. Got my heat gun. I cannot wait for y'all to find out who won the heat gun. Make sure you watch this whole video, okay, so that y'all can figure out who got the heat gun. I'm excited. All right, now, pulled it off, and look at that. Oh my gosh, it turned out so good. So I took a smaller brush and just fixed a couple spots, but other than that, it turned out perfect. All right, now for the towel, the other tag and the towel, I'm going to take the towel. I kind of put it on there, found my placement with it. First, I did hot glue, okay? I put hot glue all the way around it, and that was the way I was going to attach it. I push it down, and look, it is so cockeyed. It was not right at all. So, started over, tried to pick off all the hot glue I could, got the trusty old adhesive spray. I use this all the time. I don't know why I didn't just start out with this, for heaven's sakes. Got me something to hold over it, because now this does have a big overspray. That's the only fallback to this adhesive, is it does have a pretty big overspray. So you need something to put it on to, you know, to spray it. All right, so I sprayed it all over really, really good. Then I'm going to take my towel and come right back down over the top of it, lay it out right where I want it, smooth it out real good. And you kind of have some, you can kind of play with this, with that spray adhesive. It'll let you kind of move it around if you need to. Now, once I got that done, I am taking my utility knife or box cutter, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just cutting around the tag. I left enough material on there that I could as you see here, add some hot glue and flip that material over. And that gave me that clean edge. I liked the way that looked. I wanted to do it where it had a clean edge. Now, I took that utility knife, poked a little hole so that we could find the other hole, and then just shoved a marker through it, actually. All right, now this is hemp rope that I get from Amazon, and y'all, I'm obsessed with this rope because this is the nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. Now, the hemp rope is just a tad smaller, but you get 50 yards for like $15, okay? Yes, you heard me correctly. So I will be using the hemp rope from now on. All right, now I just looped it through there, made me a double knot. I'm going to put the other one right through, do the same exact thing. I kind of pull at it to make sure that my length is the way I want it, and then I'm going to just double knot it, excuse me. All right, now once I got it tied, I actually took it and like threaded it out, and y'all check this out, okay? What does that remind you of? That looks just like my hair in the 80s, like crimp style, okay? You hear me? Let me know in the comments, do you remember the crimper? Oh yeah, my sister would crimp my hair before we go to school in the mornings. I'm telling my age now, ain't I? All right. Anyways, so I thought it was cute. I left it just like it was. I pulled the other one out just like it. Now I did trim it off some just so it would be a little more uniform, but it is still got that shaggy look to it, and I like that. All right, now I wanted these to hang a certain way, so I did add some hot glue, then add the other tag, just press it onto there, and that's all I did. These are done. I love them. I think they're darling. All right, DIY number 2. Okay, so for this one, I have got 3 of these frames that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then this material here, I actually got from a very special lady, Miss Donna Foley. She sent me a ton of supplies, y'all. So special. That is so sweet. It is such a blessing. Oh my goodness, it will help me out so much. Like, such a blessing. Oh my goodness. So thank you, Miss Donna. That's so special. All right, now I painted those with chiffon cream Rust-Oleum chalked paint, okay? I just spray painted them, but I decided to distress them. The spray paint didn't work out so well, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to distress them. I think it'll kind of add some character to it anyway. So that's what I did. I just took a little sandpaper to them and hooked them dudes up. Now, I'm taking the cardboard backing and just laying it on my material, and I'm just going to cut out that triangle with my scissors. Just cutting out that material. There was so much stuff, y'all, that she sent. I cannot even tell y'all how much stuff it was. Such a blessing. Oh my gracious. And I was so excited to see the buffalo check stuff, the material and stuff. I was so excited. There was all kinds of the little red truck stuff. I mean, it was like Christmas for me. Oh my goodness. That's so special. So special. All right, now I'm taking that material and I'm just going to go right over the top of that cardboard backing. Put it back in the frame. These turn out really cute. They're really different, but now they're super cute. All right, so that's what we're going to do with all 3 frames. They're all going to look the same. I took that cardboard back in, traced out my square, Lord have mercy. My triangle. I'm blonde, but I'm not that blonde. All right, so traced out my triangle, and then I just added my material. Popped them back in the frames, and there you have it. Okay, so now I'm going to take these Jenga blocks and make stands for this. If you haven't noticed, we're making trees. We are making some cutie little trees, okay? So I just took those Jenga blocks. I have got the brown Star Bond super glue, and this stuff works really well, okay? Like, I'll show you in just a minute when you use the accelerator just how well it works. It sticks instantly. You can actually stand like I'm making stands for these, and you can actually stand it up the second that it hits that accelerator. It's so crazy. All right, so spray the accelerator, pop that down. Look, instantly I'm fixing to stand this dude up. Bam, it's already ready. How crazy is that? I'm telling you, this is some good glue. So far, so good, okay, with the Star Bond, for sure. Definitely impressed. So I just made stands, and what I did was I wanted them all to be a different height. So actually, look there. It's more of an amber color than brown. But anyways, besides that, see, look, it instantly stuck, y'all. Did you see that? It's crazy. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I wanted them all to be a different height. You know, just kind of staggered. That's the look that I was going for. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding a little extra to each one. That way they'll be a different height. These are so cute. They turn out so cute. They're definitely different, but I love them. All right, now I'm taking the Arteza metallic paint, and I've got the bronze, and we're going to be painting these stars. Now, I started out with that big star, and that one came off of a, oh yeah, and look, I totally squirted it everywhere when I opened the lid. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it would not be a day of crafting with me unless I made some kind of mess. That's just the way it is, y'all. Definitely the way it is for me. So once I got my stars painted, I hot glued those to the tops of each of our little trees. But in the end, you will see that I ended up painting another one of these small ones and putting on that tree that had the big one, because I just didn't like the way it looked. Like once I got them all three together, that big one just kind of took away from the tree. It was just too big. So I ended up going back and putting the same, all three of them have the same star. And those stars actually came off of a set of tags from the 4th of July. And there you go. I love them. They're so cute. All right, DIY number 3. So for this one, I have got the Farmer's Market calendar. And I've actually had a couple of my subscribers, my friends, y'all are my friends, send me those calendars. And that is a blessing, because I couldn't actually find those in my local Dollar Tree. I've looked everywhere. Anyways, all right, so I am adding some spackle to the holes that were in these pictures. We're going to actually glue these two together. I probably could have skipped this part because we're actually going to put the calendar page over the top of it, but I went ahead and filled them in just so it was done and over with. All right, now I have got these paint sticks that I got off of Amazon, and I think it was like 100 paint sticks for like $15 to $19, something like that, but I'll leave a link in the description box for them if y'all would like to check that out. I added a craft stick right down the middle. Now I did add some glue, and then I'm going to push the two together and then add the craft stick. And no, I didn't glue it to the table this time. I moved it around a little bit just to make sure. I'm bad about gluing stuff to the table. All right, now added some more glue. I'm going to add my craft stick. And then we're going to put I almost said popsicle sticks. Then we're going to put the paint sticks down. And if you'll notice, I kind of pushed them more to one side because I already felt like I was going to have to cut some of this board off. It would just look too long with that calendar page. So I kind of pushed those to one side. Now, I've got my cutting mats out. I get those at the Dollar Tree also. I drew myself a line right where I wanted to cut it off, and then I'm just using my yardstick as a guide, and I'm just going to score that with my utility knife. I just keep scoring it until it pops. You can actually kind of fold it over and it'll pop. Just a little bit more. Gotta put a little oomph in it. Oh my goodness. And then it'll pop. There you go. Now, once I got that done, I'm going to take my homemade chalk paint, and it's actually Holly from Hot Humble Pie. It's actually her recipe, and I will leave a link in the description box for her video on how to make this paint, because it is the best chalk paint that I've ever used. Like, it's perfect, and it smells good. It's got a, you'll know why when you read the instructions, but it does smell good. Okay, now I just took that calendar and I am actually picking the sides off. I took a baby wipe and kind of got it a little bit wet, not real wet, but a little damp. And that way I could just kind of pick at the sides and make it look kind of distressed, you know. And I wish so bad that I had taken some wax, some of the Waverly antique wax, and gone around the edges of this. I think that would have looked fantastic, but I didn't think about it until after it was over with. So if you try this out, see about the antique wax. I think that would look really good along those edges. Now, when you lay this calendar down, it just so happens that the lines on this board actually match up with that calendar page. Those lines literally match that perfectly. Okay, now I'm taking my Arteza acrylic markers, and I'm going to take the brown and go back over my lines, because the lines in the page are actually brown, not black. And I don't know why I didn't do it to begin with, but once again, I didn't think about it. Anyway, so I'm just going to go over it with the brown. And we're going to distress this anyways. We're going to do a little paint technique to it, and it'll be fine. So no big deal. But I did want to add that in there. And I'll have a link in the description box for those markers too. Those are the coolest thing ever. Like, they're very neat. All right, now I've got mineral and silver lining chalk paint by Waverly and a chip brush, and I'm just going to start distressing. Now, I don't have a special technique or the way that I do it, honestly, is I just do it till it looks the way that I want it to look. That is the best way that I can explain it. I just go for it. Don't be scared of it. You can always repaint it if you need to. I could have repainted this thing solid white again if I had to, you know? So don't be scared of it. Just get in there with that brush and wipe that paint on there and just do it until it looks the way that you want it to look. Now, once I had it that way, I took some sandpaper and did go over the lines, and that just kind of lightened up my lines. I also took it outside and sanded all the way around this thing with my electric sander. All right, now I'm using my Mod Podge. I'm just going to lay that Mod Podge out there, smooth it in real good. And I actually had no troubles with this calendar page. It did not wrinkle, it didn't bubble, it didn't nothing. I mean, it went on very, very nicely. Just smoothed it out with my hand. See how smooth it is? I mean, that's probably the best I've ever done with Mod Podge. But anyways, so I just continued to smooth it out. Got it nice and flat, all the air bubbles out of it. It really turns out cute. Really cute. Oh, I did take some Mod Podge and go around the edges. All right, now we're taking that hemp rope in, and I'm just going to make a little hanger on the back of it, and that is all I did to this. And it turns out so stinking cute. Check it out. I love it. I think the board looks great, and I love the calendar page. All right, DIY number 4. Okay, so for this DIY, I have got this bucket that is so stinking cute. Look at that. Are y'all believing that come from the Dollar Tree? I mean, That is so cute. Okay, I've got 4 of the trees. I end up actually only using 3, but I had 4 just in case. It was kind of in my plan. I had 4, but it didn't work out that way. All right, so I took these trees and I had already taken one and just fluffed it out and left one, like the back side of it, flat. Like I just fluffed it out on one side, if that makes any sense. I think this is going to be one of those DIYs where it's easier for y'all to maybe see what I'm doing than it is for me to explain it, because yeah, we'll just see how this works. Okay, so as you can see there, I just fluffed it out and then I left one side of it flat so that I could smash them together like that. Now I am going to take some of the garland ties from the Dollar General store, and I think they sell them at the Dollar Tree. I just haven't personally seen them at any of the Dollar Trees that I've been to. So anyways, I picked those up at the Dollar General. That's where I get those. And I grab like every bag of those that I can find, because you can use those in so many different ways. Like they're so handy to have. So if you see a bag of those, grab them. They're definitely handy to have. All right, now I just twisted these together, and I think I ended up doing like maybe 3 of them. 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, 1 at the bottom. But just making sure that they were definitely very good and secure, you know. And I ended up, I wish that I had painted this tree also. I'm going to go ahead and say that, because I wish once I got it the way I wanted it, I would have painted it, because I wanted it flocked, but I didn't think about it. I was kind of in a hurry with this one, and it just didn't work out. So anyways, I added that 3rd tree to the very top. So it's going to be a little less full than the bottom. But what we're going to do is I took my scissors and I actually just cut up the side of it so that it would match. So it kind of looks more like a little short, pencil tree. It's kind of got that shape. What I did was I just took some more of those garland ties and filled in any of the holes that it had. Any of the spaces that needed it, I just filled it in with the garland ties. And it fluffed out pretty good. All right, now I'm taking that bucket. I'm going to add some hot glue all in the bucket. And then I'm actually got pool noodles that I cut up to fit inside the bucket. I just mashed those down in there, and I really smushed those in good because I wanted them to stay down in there really good. Let that hot glue do its thing. Now, I went ahead and stuck this tree down in the pool noodle. Well, it was a little flimsy, you know what I mean? It didn't really want to stand up. So I took some of those rocks that you get at the Dollar Tree, and I just filled this thing full with those rocks. I then took it wouldn't stand up the way I wanted it to. So this whole entire DIY was almost a disaster, okay? Let me just put it that way. I ended up taking a dowel rod and shoving it up in the end of that tree, and then shoving that down into the actual pool noodle. Now, I've got some ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just started to place it all inside the tree. And what I would do is run it down a little loop, and then take one of the ties, the garland ties, and twist it around that, so that it would kind of puff out and then go in, and then puff out and then go in, if that makes any sense. Like I said, I think y'all watching this will actually be better than me explaining it. So it turns out cute. It really does, but it almost was a no-go. All right, I am going to take some of that buffalo check ribbon, the red and black, and just make me a little bow to put at the top of the tree. Then I'm going to take more of it and I just add it in. I just wanted it to kind of look like it was flowing down the tree a little bit. I added some of the red truck lights, and there you have it. All right, so before the final reveal, I want to announce the winner of the heat gun. It is going to be Dana Hall. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Dana Hall, you won that heat gun. Okay, now, please be sure and email me or find me on Instagram. You can also send me a Facebook message. And that way I can get your address. So be sure and do that. All right. If y'all like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video. That would be awesome. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do so. And be sure and hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a video. Thank y'all so much. I have had the best time doing these Christmas DIYs. I absolutely love them. Hey, be sure and check me out over on Facebook and Instagram. Those are both very good places to connect, show your own DIYs, the crafts that you're doing. I can post those on the Facebook page. That's perfect. So be sure and check that out. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, and y'all have a blessed day.